Today on CTV News at 5, Canada's largest airline begins a gradual suspension of flights as the clock ticks down to a possible strike by flight attendants. Plus, hot summer days creating the perfect conditions for blue-green algae to bloom, what you need to be aware of, and the harm for people and pets. And the return of a popular summer event in Stratford. Why the fate of the Dragon Boat Festival is up in the air, and the reason it could have to move to a new body of water. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for being here with us. Air Canada has started to cancel some flights ahead of Saturday's possible strike by flight attendants. Tensions between the airline and the union seems to be escalating today after some members disrupted an airline news conference.
Sorry about that. It's really again unfortunate that we are not allowing here reporters to do their job.
Some flight attendants entered the room holding signs reading, quote, unpaid work won't fly, and, quote, poverty wages equals un-Canadian. Some long-haul flights that were set to depart tonight have already been canceled. Air Canada plans to cancel more than 500 trips by tomorrow night. That would impact about 130,000 customers per day. Air Canada's Chief Operating Officer, Mark Nasser, calls the union's actions at the news conference deeply unfortunate.
We have some very important information to convey to our customers and the Canadian public at large, who obviously are concerned about the situation, feeling tremendous anxiety, which we understand. It's our first priority to be able to get out information, to communicate transparently and clearly. And earlier, the actions there made that a little bit harder to do.
In recent years, Air Canada has been recording billions in profits, all while their flight attendants are forced to carry out hours of critical safety-related duties without pay. Everything from pre-flight safety checks to boarding, deplaning, to attending to medical and safety emergencies are done at no charge to the airline. In Canada, in 2025, that is simply not fair.
This weekend's potential strike is proving to be a bit of a headache for travelers all across the country. People we spoke with today sharing a sense of worry about making it to their destination. After many pitches and 3 rounds of voting, the region of Waterloo has appointed a new councillor. Let's bring in CTV's Tony Grace live in studio for a closer look at this story and some others our team is working on. Hi, Tony.
Leanne, good afternoon. Joe Gowing secured the 8 votes that were needed after he and 43 other candidates put their names forward for the seat left vacant after the death of councillor Carrie Williams. Growing up in Preston, Gowing is now a Kitchener resident. He has a financial background and hopes to use his voice to help address housing and budget issues.
Pardon the pun, I am your average Joe. I am the person that you can look to when you need something done. I'm a phone call away, and I've always lived by that rule. And I quoted my grandfather in there, I would not ask anyone to do something I wouldn't do myself.
CTV's Ashley Bacon has more details on Gowing's appointment at 6. Also tonight, construction is underway on 3 roundabouts in the region. A pilot program aims to protect people who are crossing in busy traffic. Changes are coming to roundabouts at Franklin and Bishop in Cambridge, Homer Watson and Block Line in Kitchener, and Herb and Ira Needles in Waterloo. Traffic's down to 1 lane and some crosswalks are closed. Many pedestrians say they're hoping the improvements will be worth it.
I feel it's pretty safe, but just that some other people, it's like they don't know how to use these roundabouts, and it's like it's very dangerous at times because sometimes there's been hit and runs at this intersection. I think it would make it a lot safer because it would with the flashing lights, drivers be able to see the pedestrians crossing.
Colton Weens will have more details on the project at 6. For now, Leanne, I'll send it back over to you.
Tony, thanks very much. Alex is here with me as we turn to take a check on the weather. It's actually a little bit comfortable out there today for parts of the day, but I did notice the heat crept in a little bit later in the afternoon.
Yeah, it did. When we saw a little bit of the cloud cover, it was definitely bringing a little bit of relief from the heat, a little bit of a nice breeze. Earlier in the day, too, you may have noticed a bit of haziness or some fog as well. Fog expected to develop overnight tonight into tomorrow as well. So a note if you are maybe driving to work early in the morning, but felt a little thicker, if you will. But right now, mainly sunny skies here in Waterloo Region, and pretty much many other areas across southern and southwestern Ontario, as we can see from our satellite and radar this hour. 27 it is right now in Kitchener-Waterloo, 25 in Sarnia, 25 also if you're a little bit further north towards Barrie, but that humidity is still in the air. Feeling more like in the 30s for several areas, and even 31 if you're by the water in Goderich. And taking a live look outside from the boardwalk this hour, yeah, we're still seeing some sunshine, a little bit of clouds creeping through as well, but still a hot one out there. And we could see a chance now for a little bit of active weather potentially for part of your weekend. We're going to break it all down coming up a little bit later.
Okay, we'll take it a break and tell you what you need to know. Riverfest Elora officially getting underway tomorrow afternoon. The weekend-long music festival has some big names taking the stage, including City and Colour. Gates open tomorrow at 3. Tickets are available online.
Download the CTV News app and stay on top of local stories as they unfold.
We go to a dramatic scene unfolding.
Customize your feed and watch live wherever you are. ctvkitchener.ca, your home for news.
The Brant Community Healthcare System has unveiled a new patient-centered care space in the emergency department at Brantford General Hospital. The Anderson Ambulatory Assessment Area, Zone 7, officially opened yesterday and has already welcomed dozens of patients. The 2,200 square foot space serves those with less severe injuries and helps meet the department's high demand. It's part of a $32 million ER expansion project that's been in the works for some time.
With this new space, patients will be more efficiently and effectively be able to be seen here. There's more spaces for them to come, get assessed by a nurse, by a physician assistant, and then also still have a place to receive care that is comfortable.
CTV's Alexandra Hollick will have more details on the project and what's still on the way tonight at 6. The Grand River Conservation Authority is urging caution after suspected blue-green algae blooms were spotted recently at Conestoga Lake and Bellwood Lake. Not only does it disrupt the ecosystem, but it can also be toxic for people and pets. Let's discuss with Dr. Matthew Tenenbaum, the Associate Medical Officer of Health in Wellington, Dufferin, Guelph. Dr. Tenenbaum, great to see you. Thanks for your time.
Pleasure being here. Thanks for having me.
Can you first just start by telling us exactly what harmful blue-green algae is?
Sure. So essentially, blue-green algae is the term we use for a kind of bacteria that can live and thrive in lakes and other bodies of water under certain circumstances. Essentially, it's called blue-green algae because if you see it, it might look like this surface scum layer over the water that almost looks like blue or green pea soup. It might look like a paint spill, but it's this blue-green typical color on the water made up of these bacteria. And unfortunately, the bacteria, as they are, going through their process of blooming and then dissipating, can release a lot of toxins into the water that can make it hazardous to drink, hazardous to play in, or otherwise consume. It's something that does take care of itself, but during a time it's blooming in the water, you don't want to be in the water or drinking the water.
So what are some of those potential health effects that you could experience if you are exposed to high levels of blue-green algae?
So if you were, say, swimming in a lake nearby a blue-green algae bloom, you might notice things like skin irritation, eye irritation as the immediate signs after being in the water. What we're most concerned about, though, are that some of the things that these bacteria release into the water are different kinds of toxins. They can be toxins that affect the liver, leading to stomach upset. They can also be certain kinds of neurotoxins that can lead to problems with the nervous system. So we want to avoid those kinds of things. The sort of irritation symptoms are typically more common, but the more severe forms include damage to the liver and damage to the nervous system. So that's why it is important to stay away while they're blooming.
We hear that it's harmful for animals as well. What are some of the health effects that animals could experience?
So I think, given the nature of these toxins, you're going to be looking for similar kinds of things. We can't really advise animals to keep their distance or to avoid consuming it. They don't really have the same kind of choice and information that we have, but it'll be similar kinds of effects in the animal population.
Okay, how does blue-green algae find its way into our local waterways?
So essentially, again, blue-green algae it's a bacteria, and under the right circumstances, you'll have this big bloom where that bacteria rapidly multiplies. And essentially what you're looking for is circumstances that lead to a rapid influx of nutrients. Typically, for example, if you have a lot of runoff after a storm into the water carrying with it key nutrients, that's where bacteria that are already there will bloom up, massively increase in population, become visible before eventually dying off, and that bloom will no longer be visible after that happens. So the bacteria are around, but the key thing is this rapid influx of nutrients, often after a big storm or other big rainfall event.
Okay, should people be reporting blue-green algae if they come across it? Is this something that Wellington, Dufferin, Guelph Public Health keeps track of?
We do. So in this case, the blue-green algae blooms that we're seeing right now are ones we've been working with the Grand River Conservation Authority on, and we know they have signage, they have messaging they put out, and that partnership we have with them is our way of making sure people are informed about the kinds of risks and things to look out for. People should always exercise some degree of caution if they are, in a lake, they're noticing their skin's getting irritated. If they see the water looks different, if there's an odd smell to the water, something like cut grass, for example, those should be key signs that it's worth staying away. You can always give us a call at Public Health if you're seeing something and you're not sure what it is, and you think it could be blue-green algae, or even if you're confident, you can give us a call because we'd like to know that information.
Well, we know it's out there, so it's certainly great advice and something to keep top of mind at this point in the summer. Dr. Tenenbaum, thanks for the advice on this. Dr. Matthew Tenenbaum is the Associate Medical Officer of Health in Wellington, Dufferin, Guelph. Thanks again, as always.
Thank you very much.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400. From your screen to ours. Text 10400.
I think the heat and humidity from this week is getting to us because we're both sitting here in the commercial like, oh, I'm tired.
Tired. Oh, it takes a lot out of you. Tony and I were talking about that during the show last night, too. It was, we're really kind of feeling it, and especially when we're seeing it over several days. And when we finally get a bit of relief, it's almost like we need to catch up a bit.
Yeah, exactly. But it is nice to see that relief. We saw it through parts of the day out there today, and having that break and getting a little bit of shade as well, that cloud cover, it was nice.
Yeah, and even just getting a nice slight breeze is definitely beneficial to us all. And as we take a live look outside at this hour, we're still seeing a little bit of cloud cover from the boardwalk here this hour, but overall pretty comfortable conditions. It is still quite warm. We are still feeling a little bit of humidity in the air, but nothing in terms of that extreme level like what we saw earlier in the week and even from the weekend. So yeah, it's a nice little break from that extreme heat, but we potentially could now be in for a little bit of wet weather, something we're going to keep an eye on as we inch closer to the weekend. But as we get into the rest of the evening and even into your overnight hours, conditions expected to look quite nice right across Waterloo Region and surrounding areas. Again, we could see a little bit of cloud cover as that hour continues, and even getting into a little bit later, Mount Forest, you might see a little bit of cloud cover on and off, but mainly clear for us here in Kitchener-Waterloo. Sarnia, London, you're expected to be pretty clear as we get into the overnight, and starting off your Friday, a little bit more cloud cover potentially. But when we look at Saturday, this is the system we're going to keep an eye on. So at this point, if you are going to be in Windsor, Chatham, Kent, the Sarnia area, potentially you could see some showers, heavy at times, start to make its way through. We might potentially miss it here in Waterloo Region if it stays a little bit further south, but again, that's something we're going to keep a closer eye on. So right now, 27 degrees here in Kitchener-Waterloo, 28 in London. It is 25 degrees in Sarnia this hour, and with the humidity here, feeling more like 30 in KW, feeling more like 32 in Hamilton this hour. So definitely not feeling like we're in that 40 territory, which is pretty nice to see. Expected high today, 28 degrees, so a couple of degrees above normal for this time. So around where we should be for this time of year. Record high 37.2, that was set back in 1918. And on this day in 1950, we saw an overnight record low of just 5 degrees. And that sun now setting 8:27 p.m. So a little bittersweet. Good news if we are if you're fans of inching a little bit closer to fall weather, but we still have plenty of summer left. So 15 is our expected overnight low, partly cloudy. We could see a little bit of fog patches start to develop as we get into the overnight hours and even the start of your morning, which is something we saw today. Tomorrow, 29, that is our expected high, with the humidity, though, feeling more like 34. Sunny conditions expected, but that UV index expected to be quite high, sitting at an 8 for tomorrow. So definitely want to layer that sunscreen, especially when we take a look at that for Friday. Sunny skies are going to be expected, high of 29. And then Saturday, that's when we now could potentially see a little bit of wet weather start to roll in. Just a 40% chance we're seeing at this point. Expected high 33, 20 degrees overnight, and potentially some wet weather for your Sunday. But again, we're going to keep a closer eye on that system to see what really happens there.
Okay, here's what's trending today. Just a few days after announcing plans for new music, Taylor Swift is giving fans a few more details about the project.
This is my brand new album.
She was on the New Heights podcast run by her boyfriend, Travis Kelce, and his brother, Jason. And she showed off, of course, as you see there, one of the album covers for Life of a Showgirl. She also shared that the album was recorded as she traveled Europe during her Eras tour. It'll be out October 3rd, and we'll have 12 tracks on it, including one featuring Sabrina Carpenter. Swift also used her time on the podcast to talk about buying back the rights to her first 6 albums.
This changed my life. I can't believe it still. Every time I think about it, it's like I have to tell the short version to everyone because it is still like this will affect the rest of my life. I think about this every day now, but instead of it being like an intrusive thought that hurts me, it's I can't believe this happened.
The 2-hour conversation on the podcast was watched live by 1.3 million people, as fans just could not wait to hear what Swift had to say about the album release. Many Swifties very excited about that.
Yeah, and it's crazy that she wrote this album while on this Eras tour.
Because she has all the time.
Unstoppable.
Unreal.
Okay, you used to call him on your cell phone, or at least that's how the hit Drake song goes. But now the Toronto singer is apparently turning to some older technology. There's a new attraction of sorts outside of Drake's Bridle Path mansion. It is a payphone booth.
Yeah, a payphone. So there's been no shortage of speculation, of course, online about what the hardware is doing there, but it popped up as he continues work on an upcoming album. Now, we've contacted Bell to ask if the phone booth is real and why it's there. And a reminder, Bell Media is the parent company of CTV. I can just imagine all the conversations online that are happening around that.
We'll have to wait and see what that's all about, but there's got to be something behind it. Okay, still ahead on CTV News at 5. A popular summer event returns to Stratford in just a few short weeks. We'll find out why the fate of the Dragon Boat Festival is up in the air and why it could have to move to a new body of water.
And here's what you need to know. Spin it to win it. Check out a high-energy cafe night packed with games, fun challenges, popcorn, and of course, plenty of prizes. Whether you're competitive or just in it for the laughs, there's going to be something for everyone. It's all happening at the Hangout at Grant's Safe in Kitchener from 6 to 8 p.m. and costs $20.
2 Kitchener men have been charged after a shooting late Thursday morning. Police were called to the Victoria Motel after receiving reports of gunshots. They say 2 people tried to run away. Both were arrested. One had a gun on him. For more details on the investigation and the charges laid, you can read the full story on our website. It's ctvnewskitchener.ca. And now the final 5 stories we're following. The Ontario government is ordering its public service workers back to the office full-time.
I believe everyone's more productive when they're at work, and how do you mentor someone over a phone? You can't. You got to look at them eye to eye, over the water cooler, wherever, train them, camaraderie.
60,000 Ontario civil servants will be required to be in the office 4 days a week starting in October and 5 days a week in the new year. More than half of the province's workers are already in the office full-time. The Canadian Union of Postal Workers will resume talks with Canada Post on Friday. The union says both sides met with federal mediators on Tuesday and agreed to meet with Canada Post Friday and Monday. The postal workers rejected the company's last proposal that would have increased wages but would have added more part-time employees. Negotiations began more than a year and a half ago. YouTube is rolling out a new policy aimed at keeping kids from accessing age-restricted content. Starting in the U.S., the video platform is testing an artificial intelligence tool tasked with figuring out if a user is under 18 years old. YouTube will analyze factors like how long an account has been active and the types of videos being searched for. Suspected minors will see restrictions placed on what they're able to access. In a move panned by privacy experts, adults who are improperly flagged will have to prove their age using a credit card, ID, or selfie. Anyone who's had kidney stones knows the pain can be intense, and the treatment is often neither quick nor painless. But University of Waterloo researchers are developing a new minimally invasive procedure that could change all of that. They've created soft microbots made up of thin spaghetti-like strips fitted with magnets, which are moved into place. Once there, they contain an enzyme which reduces the acidity of the surrounding urine and, in turn, dissolves the stones until they are small enough to pass. At 6, CTV's Spencer Turcotte will stop by the university to see how it all works. And finally, just 1 month to go until Stratford's annual Dragon Boat Festival. But low water levels in the Avon River are forcing organizers to make contingency plans. The river had to be drained last month after a gate got blocked by debris during a storm. Organizers now forced to come up with different ideas to try to rectify the situation in order to keep the festival local.
It is a major event for the city because we basically shut down that section of the park for a day. And we bring in 40 teams. Well, there's 40, right now we're registered at 42, 44 teams. And 1/4 to 1/3 are local, the rest are out of town.
At 6, CTV's Karis Mapp will hear from a dragon boat racer about their thoughts on the situation. Of course, an event that many people look forward to annually every summer down in Stratford. All right, we'll leave it there. We'll be back at the top of the hour with your next local news. For now, we'll send it over to CTV National. Have a great night.